Hello everyone, welcome to Med School Moments. My name is Dr. Matthew Momjian, and today we're going to be discussing efficient study strategies for the busy med student. In today's episode, brought to you by MedSchoolCoach, you will learn how to create a personalized weekly study plan tailored to your medical school curriculum. You'll discover techniques for effectively reviewing and retaining previously learned material, and you'll understand how to identify and optimize the use of essential study resources for medical students. So let's get started. To create a study plan for your week, the goal here is to outline your week in a way that will allow you to accomplish everything you need to get done to succeed in your coursework. And as you probably know, that's easier said than done. One thing I recommend is to spend the beginning of every week, I would always do it on a Sunday evening, kind of mapping out everything that you have to accomplish in the coming week. Things like lectures or small groups, pre-reading or pre-work, anatomy lab, practical exams, syllabus, textbook, quizzes, practice exams, etc. You get the idea. Once you've kind of created this list of what you want to accomplish throughout the next week, you're going to want to map these activities onto your schedule and make sure you put in sufficient time for each activity. One thing I find when I'm working with a lot of our clients is sometimes people over-plan on what they can get done, and then they end up getting discouraged when they don't complete it all. Try to be honest and realistic with yourself and err on the side of caution. If you have extra time, I'm sure you'll be able to find something else to review, but try to be realistic and careful with what you plan at first so that you can feel good about what you've been able to accomplish. The goal of creating this calendar is to allow you to track everything you have to get done for the week, hopefully build in an adequate amount of time to do each of them, and at the end of the week, help you be accountable to what you were able to and not able to accomplish. In order to succeed in medical school, you need to be able to not only learn new material, but also review material that you've learned in prior weeks for exams or future practice. So to do this, I recommend planning for one review day a week. I would always review my material on a Saturday. And the goal for this week is not to learn new content, but to review things I hopefully already know. I like to do this in a kind of block system where I build on previous weeks, week by week. Let me explain. So if I had a 6-week curriculum, usually I would, let's say at the end of week 1, I would review the week 1 material. At the end of week 2, I would review weeks 1 and 2. At the end of week 3, I would review weeks 1, 2, and 3. Of course, it can be adjusted to an 8-week or a 9-week curriculum block, but the goal is for you to spend some time every week intentionally reviewing prior material. This can make cumulative exams and board exams so much easier and smoother because you can help avoid cramming and be already confident with the material that you've already learned. Another important part of studying is to try to be selective about the resources you utilize. I remember when I started medical school, I felt so overwhelmed during my first semester of all of these different websites and videos, and people are trying to sell you things and give you books and give you flashcards, and for me it was just too much. What I consistently find is that the most high-performing students are those who identify 2 or 3 resources that work really well for them and they stick to it. So for me, I found myself doing really well with practice questions, a video review series, and a book kind of material. And I think most people will find something like that helpful to them. So I recommend for you to try to pick one resource dedicated to learning new content, one resource dedicated to memorization, and one resource for practice questions. If you do more than that, it can become kind of redundant, and there's really no point. It's better to learn one resource well than it is to do 5 resources poorly. Once you've figured out something that works with you, stick with it. Don't jump around all the time. In addition, when you're looking at resources, especially flashcards, try to use things that already exist. One big part of the transition from college to medical school is this kind of understanding that you are part of a community of medical students throughout the US who are doing the same classes and learning basically the same thing that you are. So try to take advantage of that and use resources that already exist, like pre-made Anki decks or flashcards from classmates, instead of spending hours making practice materials that you're then not even going to have that much time to review. This can really unlock your ability to excel and give you so much more time to study the material that you already know is important. I'm Dr. Matthew Momjian, and this has been a Med School Moment brought to you by MedSchoolCoach. I hope you found these tips helpful and you'll be able to use them as you progress throughout your medical school. If you want more personalized advice from MedSchoolCoach, scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in our description to book a free consultation with our enrollment team. Your path to becoming a physician is important to us.